Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Opening Chatters. In this episode, we're going to review the third test in the England versus West Indies, which has just finished at Old Trafford, and we will review the performances for this third test and then show you something new that we are working on. How you doing, Johnny?
I am doing great, thank you. Sorry, I need to try look a bit cool.
Do you not have a mirror in that room?
No, unfortunately not. I mean, sad times when you can't even go out to buy a mirror. Anyway, I am absolutely delighted that England have put in a performance and come back for the first time ever in Test history to win 2 series in a row after going 1-0 down, like the South Africa series. You didn't think the stat man would let that one go fly by.
Where did you drag that one out of?
Oh, I can't reveal my sources, I'm afraid.
So it looked like we may get a rain-affected match, which one of the days was rained out, but we still ended up with a convincing win by England.
And it rained like 20 minutes after the match finished, so, that was good for me.
So here's a reminder of the games that have played so far with 2 wins for England. And starting tomorrow, Thursday, the 30th of July, is the first one-day international against Ireland. 3 one-day internationals coming up in Southampton in the next week.
Looking good.
So let's take a look at this third test. Here's the result and the performances of note. Do you want to go through them?
Let's take a look at the England batting innings first off. I mean, we've got 2 Surrey boys in there putting a shift in for the team and really giving us some good scores on the board. And also worth a mention, I mean, we'll come on to Broad because, he's brilliant, but he got 62 off 45 balls in the first innings, I think. And my eyes were nearly falling out because the last time I've seen him get a 50 was back in 2017.
So do you think that first test on the bench made him fight harder?
That lit a match under his butt and got him going. Maybe we should try that a bit more often, get him motivated. But it's good to see he's still motivated. That means that he's still ready to play.
Yeah.
And we need him. And okay, if you want to look through other performers, Roach, did he get his 200th test wicket in this test? And then, of course, if we look at Broad, 6 for 31, and in the second innings, he also got 4 for 36, giving him a 10-wicket match. So what a absolutely fabulous match. And that took him to 500 wickets. And, you want a bit more trivia. His 500th wicket was Craig Brathwaite, which actually was the same wicket that Jimmy Anderson got for his 500th. So, I mean, those 2 share jumpers, they probably share their breakfast, and they also now share the same 500th wicket. It's insane.
I think even Jimmy said that if he carries on, you'll easily overtake him.
Absolutely.
Good, and at least they've got a few days to rest now before the first Pakistan test.
And hold on, let's not, like everyone does, forget about Christopher Wokes, who put in an absolute performance. And he sort of goes under the radar a bit. And he goes under the radar so much that when he does well, it turns out to be Broad's 500th wicket. But he got 5 for 50, giving England the impetus they needed to go and win before the rain.
And the interesting thing is Broad and Wokes both only played 2 of the 3 tests.
Absolutely. Do you think that this bowling attack that England had was their best seam bowling attack? If we got rid of the spinner and played all seamers, I think you could put Curran in there for a left arm angle. Then we've got a very wide-ranging attack.
But I think we do need one more batsman in there. It was a bit light this time.
Definitely. And also, another performance I'd like to mention was Root in that second innings. He got 68 off 56 balls, which is a bit of a miraculous innings. He got 8 fours and 1 6. And I have this vision of him charging down the track and whacking Cornwall for a 6. And let's talk about Raheem Cornwall, because I really like him. He's breaking stereotypes. It shows that you don't have to be like lean and what everyone's typical image of what a good cricketer looks like to be successful. And even though he didn't do great in this match, in his last test match, I think he took 10 wickets in the match to help West Indies win. And he is a great cricketer, and I hope that he goes on to have a brilliant career. Shall we take a few minutes to discuss Root's captaincy? Because I know Stokes was captain of the first test, but I think the team has just looked a lot more assured since Root has been back. Root's been at the wheel. Tell me, how good does it feel? Um, he's the sides looked a lot more sure and assured, and I think he's done good tactics and he's declared at the right times and he's took the aggressive option, and I think he's really growing into that role.
He's going to be one of the best captains we've had, I think.
Absolutely. And also, finally, let's have a little think about why the West Indies weren't able to capitalise on their first test win. They only made more than 300 once, which was in the first innings of the first test. So from there, it was downhill. They averaged 23.73 runs per wicket, which is, if that's a pretty handsome bowling average for the England attack. And they were out. There were 19 LBWs for them in the series, which, LBWs, it shows that their techniques probably need a bit of work. I think the West Indies fast bowlers really deserve an apology from their batsmen because the fast bowlers put a shift in and they actually bowled quite well.
So let's tell our friends about our latest feature, the Chatters League. Right. So we were thinking about how do we
take this channel to the next level.
How do we rate the players? We know they'll all be logging on to see where they are in the league for this series.
Yeah, I see you there, Jofra, fizzing with anticipation.
We have created a system where we allocate points for batting, bowling, and fielding, and then we end up with an overall number for the series.
So explain where it says batting 1 point, bowling 20 points, and fielding 10 points.
Batting, you get 1 point for every run.
Okay.
Bowling, you get 20 points for every wicket. So a 5-wicket haul would be equivalent of 100 runs.
That sounds pretty sensible in my eyes.
And then fielding, I gave it 10 points.
Okay. Well, I agree with you. This is one of the few things that we're going to agree on.
Obviously, it's going to rain today.
It's going to rain? What?
Yeah. It's going to rain because you agree with me. Okay. So, as we expect, no surprise, top of the batting ranking this series, Benjamin. Right?
Benjamin.
363 runs in 3 games. That's a very good.
Pretty spectacular.
Yeah. And then if we have a look down at 2 and 3, Burns and Sibley, our 2 openers, are pretty evenly balanced.
There are new Strauss and Cook. They're going to be there for a long time, occupying the crease.
Coming in at number 4, Joss Butler, who was under pressure to get some runs.
I wouldn't say he's got runs. I mean, he's got 134 runs in the whole series. I mean,
in 6 innings, yeah. It's not great, but he's still fourth on the list.
Well, some of the commentators on TV and stuff earlier in the series were saying he has this series to impress, or he's going to get dropped. And he's just done the bare minimum, I think, to get by. But geez, that shows you, like, if we took away Stokes, where would we be? That's slightly worrying, but also slightly amazing.
But anyway,
a brilliant
they've done well to clinch the series, and obviously the last game they won by 200 and odd. If we look at the bowling,
Broad is at the top there. If you want some stats on that, 16 wickets, leading wicket taker of both teams, and he averaged 10.93 throughout the series. I mean, whoa! Let's have a minute to just.
That's half of a good number.
That's half of a brilliant number.
And that 16 in only 2 games.
That is amazeballs, Stuart. Good job.
Second on the list, Chris Wokes, also only 2 games in the series.
Absolutely.
Another good performer with the ball. Jimmy also played only 2 games.
Definitely 5, but Jimmy's always there and about. Let's look at the Chatters League total for the whole series.
The total. So here in the last column, we take the runs plus the wickets times 20 points, and the fielding, catches and runouts times 10 points. But as expected, Stokes on top with a lead of more than 100. Well, it's 150 points over Broad.
Absolutely. Stokes missed the cricket and he barely did anything in this third test, and he still come out on top.
And then we have Burns. Butler is there thanks to his wicketkeeper position. Burns, Wokes and Sibley, all similar kind of zone. Bessie, he's also up there.
He's done a good job.
Joe Root there with 170 after 2 games.
Definitely.
Ollie Pope was good, and they're talking about him as the best young player we've had since Root.
They are. Andrew Strauss on the commentary for Sky was very enthusiastic about him and thinks that he is a top class player, which he is because he's from Surrey.
Of course.
Sorry. You see?
So good stuff. This after each series, we'll put up the Chatters League, and then we may even consolidate the scores into an annual league and give out a Chatters Award at the end of the year.
This stuff is getting analytical. I hope you guys have got your calculators out. Oh wait, no. We're going to do the calculating and you're going to do the viewing of the stats. So don't worry.
So I think that's all we have today. Do you want to wrap it up?
I would love to wrap it up. So if we take this last test, we have Pope and Burns, who weighed in with a couple hefty 90s and sent the West Indies winning chances into the Surrey Hills. We also have Root, who forgot to bring his sleeping pills to the biosecure environment and suddenly smashed a pretty fast 50. Then none of the West Indies batsmen are going to dare to look Shannon Gabriel in the eye after their dismal performance this series. And brilliant Broad has joined the illustrious 500 club, cementing his place in history as well as scoring a lightning quick 50 in the first innings. Well, that just shows what happens when you piss him off. Okay, that's it from us. See you again next time.
See you next time. Bye.